So, Tom,
So Pat.
I was thinking about the word chronicles, and I just wondered if you have ever had a stretch in your life that would, if you were right, the written version of it would be qualified to be known as the chronicles of something.
Oh God.
This was my drive home today thought.
I mean, immediately I think of the Chronicles of Narnia rap from SNL, but that's not applicable to my life at all. It's just a chronicle.
Right. That's another case of the word being used, certainly. Another couple cases because, of course, the book itself.
Right.
But obviously it would entail some serious adventures.
Wow, man. I hope you're asking me this because you have something to say. But I think maybe if you want to talk about the last few years of high school into college, you could probably come up with a snappier title, but the Chronicles of Playing Video Games Alone on Weekend Nights.
Okay. Let me ask you this. For it to be a set of chronicles, does something need to be conquered? Does there need to be a good versus evil situation or a something versus something?
I mean, I did.
What are the qualifying terms here?
I did reach level 40 minor in RuneScape, and I had full rune armor.
Sounds like the Chronicles of RuneScape, Tom. We're talking about the Chronicles of Thomas Patrick Kelly here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think something, there definitely has to be, the proven rise and fall of an unlikely hero and stuff like that. But I don't know, dude. I'm always afraid of getting hurt, so I tend to not really do much of anything. I don't think.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Chronicle. Okay, more questions. Okay,
let's say generic Chronicle series exists. Might as well be the Chronicles of Narnia as a starting point in your brain. What role are you
in someone else's Chronicle?
I don't know. Generic.
Oh,
are you half goat person dude that's helpful to the children? A whimsical being of sort.
I think I'm like the friend.
I think his name is Tumnus.
Mr. Tumnus.
Tumnus Curly.
I think that I might be the not best friend, but friend of the protagonist.
Ooh.
Who the protagonist is trying to go on an adventure, and he needs a certain amount of people, and I wasn't his first, second, or third pick, but he needs one more guy. So he hits me up, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, guys. Jeez, that seems dangerous. And I reluctantly go out of peer pressure, and I'm nervous the whole time.
Does your apprehension save the group at some point?
Definitely.
Okay. What are they in a cave? Where does your apprehension, what part of the story does your, first of all, if you were a playing card and there was a card version of this Chronicle series, what would be your hit points or what's your main attack? What's your main defense? What's your weakness?
Okay, so have you seen my Facebook post about Dungeons and Dragons or something?
No.
Are you serious? You're not
no,
fucking with
but
me
now
right
I want to hear about it because I want to play this out. I want to make your trading card.
So, Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have trading cards, but just 2 weeks ago, I suddenly found myself very intrigued by the game and the storytelling aspect, and I just bought some dice from eBay, some cheap ones, $1.87. My bank account's already negative. I can't afford the nice chrome ones that I want, but I want to get into this game, and I've been listening to D&D podcasts, and the stories that they tell are seems like
apparently
what you're trying to do.
If you have a good storyteller,
right now,
it could be a very nice way to spend an afternoon.
Or several days. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, I have a limited understanding, but I've been going to this place called The Rook in Cincinnati with a couple friends after work some nights. And it's just a generic board game bar. But I think if you have a group of people with a common goal of having a good time, there's a lot of possibilities there. I'm intrigued as well. Color me intrigued.
Should we start a D&D podcast?
I think if we're going to pick a niche, diving deep into a topic that none of us. You're straying from your playing card issue, by the way. I really mostly focus on the hit points here, Tom. I think you're drifting. I think you're stalling, and I think that would be certainly one of your weaknesses on your card. Would be dancing or beating around the bush, if you will.
That's actually my strongest move: beat around the bush until the guy gives up, and
Wow. Okay. So you're. I feel like you're. Wouldn't it be? Who are those creatures? That kind of the roaming, like the sexy fairy ones. The.
What?
Are you like a dude that rolls with the gypsies, and you're like a little whimsical? You're like a little sexual. You're like. Oh, you're a little apprehensive beating around the bush. He's like, I'll beat around your bush. I'm like, whoa, Nelly, I'm definitely not in the Shire anymore. You kiss your mother with that mouth? I'm like, oh, shit. This is a whimsical bunch. That dude's definitely been in an orgy before. Like, what? I feel like your character is so complex. I'm dying to know the arc. And I'm dying to know what scene you saved the group. Because now you're feeling like kind of a dark, music-y, like I've rolled with a few theater groups, like now you're kind of a carny and like you're a little dark, but that like back end shit, like back alley stuff also helps the group. I think you're selling yourself short here with this whole like nerdy, like dragging the group down thing. I think like they're going to the market, right? And there's like some musicians rolling by like with their lutes and shit. And you are just like, hey man, yo, I was on the Run Forever tour back in 2007. Suh, dude, suh. And all of a sudden you score like, I don't want to do these drugs, but we can sell them for cash and we can use the gold to get where we need to go. Like, oh, shit. God. That was something needed to happen at this market. It was a logical stage in the process of these chronicles. And I'm good. Everybody good? Tom just scored us a lot of money with this whole drug thing. I think we're good at this stage. We can go into the woods or whatever the comes next between now and the castle or whatever.
Dude, you were born to play D&D.
I'm into it. Well, this is our D&D episode, dude. Didn't you know?
Oh, God. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. What would your character name be? Would you just stay as Tom?
I think that it would be like a really weird, like, kind of a jab at like an over masculine pun. Like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Oh, like Hank Mardukas or something like that vibe?
Or something like something with like Don Carnage or something. But I'm like,
whoa, dude. Can you please be Don? I didn't know what I was expecting, but that was way better than I ever could have hoped.
But
Don Carnage.
But the irony is that I'd be like a healer or something and would be like super weak at battle, but I had just like this,
I like it. I'm already picturing your flashback where your mother's like, little Ronald Carnage, or like the teacher's making fun of, and you're like, everyone's laughing at school, like, oh, little Ronnie Carnage. You're like, it's Dawn. It's Dawn. Your origin story is, man, I'd watch the shit out of that Marvel spinoff.
Don
Ronnie
Carnage.
Shy Ronnie.
Hero of nobody.
I'm loving this. Don Carnage. You have to be fucking kidding me. I picture myself as like, when they go into the bar scene, similar to the market scene, and like they'd face off with the future nemesis or like somebody who knows the nemesis. Like, you go tell him like, hey, watch it, asshole. Like the bar gets slammed and like the coins shatter or whatever. And I'm like the guy at the bar that like reacts, like kind of stands like, what? And you're like, what's going on? Like totally inconsequential to the story, just like a noticer of things in the bar scene. Like, hey, whoa, this is not normal for this place. This is just a neighborhood bar, people. There are rarely duels of this magnitude. Rarely. And I mean that. I come here a lot. I come here too much. Do I end up with the group? Not often. Never, some might say. But I notice the hell when things aren't normal in the snoozy neighborhood bar. It's my one job is to just notice when things are like, what? This is, hey, barkeep. Hey, Ronnie. No, I'm just kidding. You're not the barkeep. I think something's up. I think these guys mean trouble. I think these guys. I think something's going on here. I think some chronicles are on afoot.
Afoot.
We might be in the middle of some serious chronicles.
Oh my God, Pat.
The Ronald Chronicles. The Ronnie Carnage. The Carnage Chronicles.
The Ronnie Cronies.
The Ronnie Cronies, for short. The Carnage Chronicles. The story of Ronnie. The Ronnie Cronies.
Oh my God.
Your hit points would be 69, I think. Or like, no, it would be 68.9, like some counties put their mile markers as, so nobody steals them. Or like 419.9.
Oh, man.
Those would be, what would my hit points be? What's the legal, like, drink? Oh, 0.18? Like, the legal amount of drunk you can be to drive.
Oh.
This isn't even a hit point, you lousy drunk. Like, hey, man. Literally, my only role is to notice. That's it. That's it, man.
Jesus Christ, Pat. Should we...
Here's my question.
Okay.
What is your,
There's more.
Okay, so no one believes you can do it, but you know you can do it, or you think you know there's something inside you. You go off to train with some distant relative or just like this mythical dude in the mountains, Kill Bill style. What are you training to do? Is it like some sort of martial art, or is it like sword work, or are you into this archery thing enough where you're like, I must learn the ways of the bow?
So you're saying like what's something that people
like
would
in the scene where you go
underestimate
away to wax on, wax off? What are you waxing on and waxing off? Like what trade do you go to work on with the weird elder dude in the mountains before your quest?
Oh man. Well, I'm not a fighter. I think it would be maybe Tom Haverford style, cry your way out of any situation.
Curl up.
Yeah.
The old beetle ball or whatever.
Just the no.
The classic dung beetle roll. I think mine would be swing dancing. Because in some bar scenes, there's like a jovial town dance that gets ruined by the antagonist. You know, everyone's like, "Whoa!" Like the pretty girl who's with the protagonist. They're all doing the spins with the elbows, and like she does one kind do-si-do with the town drunk. Like, oh, he's gross, but we're all having fun here. Like, hey, I'll pass you back off to the main dude if I don't say I'm hammered. I can't even see straight.
That's you.
The field was spinning anyhow, so at least we're dancing, and I can't tell the difference if I'm standing still or not. As you were, Sir and Madam, I'm gonna return to the local watering hole, where things rarely ever get out of hand, as we all know. This is a sleepy town, after all.
Oh boy, I think we need to maybe start the show.
Yeah, let's start the show.
Okay. Ooh.
Did you have a good week?
There we go. I did. For the most part. What about yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice weekend. I worked Monday. I didn't get the 3-day Labor Day weekend, but
dang.
It was all right. You know, working holiday pays all right, and usually it's a little slower and whatnot. But we had a nice weekend. We got a kitchen table, which was pretty blockbuster. You know, pretty matinee worthy. That was top of the fold type front page news there. Above the fold, I should say. Yeah, we set up the record player and a few things here and there. It's starting to look pretty lived in and whatnot. So, yeah, feeling good. Productive and fun weekend. Tried out some new eateries and bars in the neighborhood, and just kind of settling in. You know, having a nice time here in the Queen City.
Queen City?
Yes, that is the nickname, I believe, and I don't know why.
Okay. We'll have to look into that.
Doesn't even matter how hard you try.
Oh, Chester.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even make a joke. How can you say too soon? I guess
I didn't say too soon. You
I know.
almost
It
said
felt wrong for some reason. We'll have to do an episode on, like, what is too soon and what different types of things can fall into the category of shit you can't touch in the wake, as it were. But yeah, it was a good week. And last week was a nice growing Tom episode, and I want to almost just do a full follow-up episode of like, how's your brain? Is it still half? Tom went to a pod conference for those who did not hear, and he met some cool dudes, and his career is in limbo is the wrong phrasing, but you were waiting on a call, or you were feeling inspired, or I'm curious.
Yeah, well, I guess some really interesting follow-up from last week. There's been still like a lot of things going on since then, and things not even related to the conference that seem to be going very well, that I'm super excited about. Going back to the conference, I guess, there's a Facebook group of people who have gone to this past year's conference and previous ones. And someone from this year was like, hey, I had such a good time. Is there anyone in the Denver area who went to the podcast movement who still wants to like meet up and kind of keep the good vibes going type thing, you know?
Yes.
So there was a girl and two guys who lived in the Denver area who kind of responded, and I responded to the group, you know, like, yeah, man, let's do it. I'm close by. So this girl, Mara, adds me on Facebook, and she was, you know, like, hey, you know, how awesome was the conference? Kind of talked about it, things we liked and whatnot. And she was like, so, you know, where in Denver do you live? And I was like, oh, I'm actually like just south in Englewood. She was like, oh, no way, me too. Where in Englewood do you live? I was like, you know, on Hampton by the King Soopers. And she was like, no shit, were you at the pool at the Marks apartment today? And I was like, no, but I do live in the Marks apartment. And she was like, oh my God, me too. What building are you in? And I said, and she was like, no fucking way. I live in, which is like the neighboring building.
Huh.
So not only was that weird.
What's her story?
She's started some podcast focusing on some like narrative storytelling style shows that deal with like social justice issues. Yeah, she didn't say what the shows are actually called, so I can't plug it for her, but
that's pretty great.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy that like literally like my car is parked in front of her apartment right now, you know? Like yeah. And then also she asked, you know, I told her that I was like engaged and she's been living with her boyfriend for a while. She was like, yeah, you know, I've been dating my boyfriend for like 4 years and 4 months. We moved in together after 3 months. And I started doing the math. I was like, oh my God, Megan and I have been dating for 4 years and 4 months. And we moved in together after like 3 or 4 months. And I just think like, I don't know, man, it's all kind of crazy.
That is many details that are similar.
And, you know, they call
Where's she from originally?
It's the East Coast. She's from North Carolina, which was neighboring states with Virginia, where I came from.
Okay. I could see like, I wonder if your brain is more predispositioned to like believe horoscopes or something. Like you're from Pennsylvania, but like it's interesting to me that you chose the detail like she's from North Carolina, I'm from Virginia right before I came here, even though I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay, so there is
I'm not saying there aren't a lot of similarities.
No, dude, I'm about to be on your side for a second. There's a logical fallacy called the sharpshooter fallacy, where you have all these bullet holes in a barn, but you focus the camera in on one small cluster and say, oh my God, look at all these things that are so close together. Like, I'm not from Virginia, but I moved here from Virginia. So like, yeah, I'm not from Virginia, but there's, you know, a lot of weird coincidences, but how many people have I met where there's no coincidences or any, you know, it's
I take it all back, because at its core, this comes off as me being like, huh, that story, Tom. There's so few coincidences there. Like, I don't give a shit about this girl you met, which is not how I feel at all. And I apologize for raining on your parade.
Yeah, dude, whatever. But yeah,
for the listeners, Matt, Tom's from here. He's from Pennsylvania, like as northern Pennsylvania as you can get,
without
which is
falling
still
into the lake.
like a small stretch of Maryland away from being Virginia. Although they're both commonwealths, that's a hell of a thing. Although North Carolina is not, or is.
Oh my God, what if it is?
Then your name isn't Ronald fucking Carnage.
It's Don. Don Carnage.
In the latest. What's that thing? Before Tropic Thunder, there's like a fake trailer for an action series starring Ben Stiller, but it's like, there's a sequel of a sequel, and he's like, here we go again. Again. But he has like, this time he has his own children, babies strapped to his chest, shooting guns. Like, I don't know. Now he's a dad. Can he save the world from ice storms? Here we go again. Again. Ronald Carnage in 2 Chronicles of the Carnage 3.
All right. So anyways.
With him as always is the drunk guy at the bar. And Brooks Lankowski, the Arrow Man.
Oh God, Pat. You asked a question.
Your tagline is never forget where you're from. And he's like, I'll never forget where I'm from. Virginia. Like, I thought it was Pennsylvania. I don't like to think about that. I told you never to bring that up. You son of a bitch. I was like, is that Ronnie? Little Ronnie Carnage? It's Don. It's Don. You son of a bitch.
Jesus.
I'd watch that movie.
Should we even try for like a themed episode, or are we just gonna riff on the Don Carnage?
Sorry,
thing?
I got into it, but yeah,
I'm not criticizing.
We
I
get
just
into it. We were gonna talk about what you had mentioned last week about it is harder now though. Now that we went so far deep into the realm of shit. But you had talked last week about feeling really good about meeting with your sister and your cousins when you visited California. So I was just curious, how many friends do you stay in touch with? How often do you reach out? Do you expect to get reached out to? What's your stance on family gatherings, extended family gatherings? What's your stance on class reunions? Our class skipped its 5th.
Yeah.
Is with Facebook, are only 10-year apart reunions important? Are you already seeing the people you want or need to see anyhow? Back to the family stuff. I mean, at some point, is it only going to be marriages and funerals unless people make a special effort, and how many people really do? You know what I'm saying? So, you had mentioned feeling a certain amount of comfort being around loved ones, which you had mentioned since moving to Denver, you hadn't done very much. Because you don't have any friends, or you don't have any family in the city at least, and right,
yeah.
Except for an old stepbrother, but I don't think you keep in touch, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah,
fair enough. So I guess that's where mine went after last week's episode. I was just curious if there were steps you were already taking on a daily basis to stay in touch with certain folks, X, Y, or Z, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just curious.
I think the only people that I really try to make an effort to keep in touch with is you and Zach. I talk to my sister more now than I used to a couple years ago, I guess.
Was there ever a point where you thought you never would be friendly with your sister, like growing up?
No,
like mid-puberty, like no way.
No, I mean there were times when we fought a lot, but it wasn't like we couldn't get along. A couple minutes later,
right?
It was never like an issue.
Sure.
I guess I don't really have. I don't know, and this might sound different than what I was saying last week. I don't feel like I have a dependency on like needing to be social or around other people a bunch. Like, it was incredible. It was really nice last week. But at the same time, I love like just time to myself, especially because there's a lot of things that I want to do with my time. And right now, the only value I'm not value. The only way that I'm place, I don't know, I don't really know how to say it. The only time I feel good about how I've spent my time is when I'm being productive for the network. And if I spend too much time doing anything else, I feel like a level of guilt about that. So even though I loved like hanging out with like the sister and my family, like it's not something I can have like a bunch of, like maybe like once a month tops. Would be like the amount I would seek out, I guess, of that. But at the same time, I guess I was feeling very social on Saturday. Or was it? Saturday. I went with Megan and her two friends from work, who are also my friends, to try on wedding dresses.
Whoa.
Well, Megan tried them on. I didn't try them on.
Are you? Well, I wasn't going to make that joke, but you can try on whatever dresses you want, man. It's 2017.
Sure, dude.
I bet you would have looked real nice, Ronnie.
I cut a bunch of
stretch, and I'm sorry. Cut it out. Cut it all out. I quit. I'm sorry. I'm better than that, and I'm sorry to everyone. But you sent me a few photos, and your fiance appears that she will make a beautiful bride. But I will ask this question.
Yeah.
Are there rules that you can't see certain things, or are those you scrapping that type vibe, or?
There are only the rules.
Or is it just the day of you can't see?
There are only the rules that you
to
put on yourself, and I think they're bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, is it in like lore equivalency to stepping under a bridge or breaking a mirror?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I mean, how long does the average marriage last? And if a broken mirror costs you $7, just seeing a woman in her dress the day of your marriage cost you like, let's say the average marriage lasts 10 years, which I have no stats to back that up whatsoever.
I think it's like 3.
Sure. Well, then breaking a mirror is worse than seeing your bride on your wedding day before you get married.
Right.
It sounds like.
Well, yeah. There were like a bunch of people who were
so
like, "You can't look at the dress."
My point is, you went with her, and that probably is okay.
Yeah. We've already been together longer than a lot of marriages last.
Sure.
And yeah, I think that's just stupid, man. Like,
so you could have like walked under a ladder on Saturday and like just yourself, but this probably had no impact whatsoever.
Right. It was fun, dude. Like, I honestly had a lot more fun than I thought. I actually forgot about it until just now. I did bring.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about it a lot more when you sent those pictures, and I kind of forgot about it. But now I'm super curious what the whole process was even like.
Well, Pat, you're going to have to listen to the end of this episode because I brought my my little field recorder, and I'm going to put together like maybe a 7-minute clip after this episode. Because I kind of talked with Megan beforehand and after, and then I got some reactions as she was coming out of the dressing room with the dresses on and having her friend Andrew describe the dresses, which was fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a fun little thing.
We shouldn't keep the people from that much longer. I don't feel like that sounds great. Sounds like some good content, my good fellow.
Yeah, it was I'm hoping it'll be fun. But we went out to eat afterwards.
Or my is grass. This is my life we're talking about here, okay? This is my fucking well-being. All right?
So
it better be quality content. Quality.
It's gonna be. But what I was trying,
cool. I'm excited for it.
The point of all this that I was trying to say, we went out to eat afterwards and was having fun, and I was just like, "Hey, Megan, should we have people over tonight? Like, should we invite her friends
uncharacteristic.
from work over?" Yeah, I know.
Catching the social bug, the social butterfly bug.
I did, because I really like her friends from work, and the one girl, Hannah, who's going to be writing for the website, was there, and her friend Andrew, who is now my yoga Nidra teacher. I've been doing some of that, which is
what's that?
Interesting. It's like I don't feel like I'd be able to explain all the intricacies of it, but basically you lay completely motionless for an hour, and they guide you through this meditation that's supposed to like separate your mind from body, and you like follow these visual cues that he gives you, and you're like not allowed to move, you're not allowed to sleep, and it's pretty crazy, man. Come out of it feeling super weird. Like yesterday was super weird, like really weird.
Like why weird?
Well, the whole time I felt like my mind was super active. Like I couldn't understand anything he was saying. Like I could kind of hear a voice talking, but I didn't understand it. Like he was like miles away or speaking a different language. And my brain was like, oh God, are you asleep? You can't sleep. What's he saying? You're supposed to listen to what he says and do what he says, but I can't understand anything he's saying. And it was like, I felt so self-conscious.
I feel like you should sleep, dude. If the whole point is to relax, like I feel like you're getting a crucial part of this wrong.
Well, and I've never done like meditation or yoga or anything like that. So
right.
the week before that one was like really relaxing, and I felt like I like did it right. But I was telling Andrew...
Well, I could be wrong too, though. I mean, like, is the point to be relaxed, or is the point to get good at clearing your mind? You know what I mean? Is it something that you can do wrong? Or is the whole point to be refreshed? Or is the whole point to be more focused?
There are a lot
or
of...
is it both?
There's a lot of intricacies to it. I'll put a link in the show notes because I need to read on it a little bit myself.
Okay.
But all I know was like the first week... I felt like maybe 5 minutes had gone by, and it was like an entire hour.
Oh, that's nice.
So there's something to it, man.
Help ease the burden of existence by making it go by quicker.
Right. If I could just stay in that state forever until I die, that'd be great.
It's like that planet in the movie Interstellar where they're like, Earth is burned to a crisp and it's been 2 seconds. Anne Hathaway, will you marry me? But what about Murph?
So,
but that sounds nice.
Yeah.
And so you've spent the last week trying a lot of new things, and getting back to the dress thing as we smatter around this field of topics. You felt relaxed while watching your bride-to-be try on these dresses?
It was funny how critical we all were. Like, it was almost like we were doing something like for fun rather than like my fiance is actually trying on dresses. Like we knew that the one that she really wants wasn't there. But they had other dresses from the same designer, and we all seemed to like the dresses from that designer more. So since we knew that like the number one pick wasn't there, I feel like there wasn't so much pressure to find like the right one because she thinks she already has. So it was like a little more lighthearted than like, oh God, like we have an hour and a half of this like session to like try to find the perfect dress. Like it was a little less pressure than that. So
it sounds great.
Yeah. So it ended up being a lot of fun actually. And it was funny because she tried on some like different like accessories, and the person helping her was like, are you going to want to wear a veil, for this? And we kind of looked at each other and I was like, I don't think so. They put it on and it was like the life was sucked out of the room, and she was like, like everyone hated it. It was so, It was so weird how bad, not like, looked bad on her, but just like it didn't like fit the vibe or something. It was like, oh God, get it out of here.
Yeah. Burn it. Fucking burn it.
But yeah, it ended up being a lot of fun. No one ended up coming over because they had other stuff to do, but I just like even felt weird that I was like, yeah, let's do this. Like I keep like do you want to just like come over and play N64? Like, come on, let's be some 90s kids again. I don't know. But they said that if they didn't have other plans, they would definitely be down for another weekend, which I've also heard a lot of in my life. So who knows?
That sounds pretty nice, Tom.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a crew going.
Coming out of my shell again.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, the world needs to see it.
Yeah.
You beautiful naked turtle.
Okay, so I feel like I haven't answered any of the initial questions that you've asked.
Well, let's see. We've covered the dress fitting, which sounded nice. Did she end up picking one?
No, they're going to have the dress that she wants shipped in to try it on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then what was the other thing? We had a quick aside about the Krav Maga.
Sure.
And that's fine. We'll all try it someday and do an episode about it. We've handled most of the Chronicles of Ronald Carnage. I think everything that's left is, you were saying, we were just kind of toying with the idea, and maybe we'll toss this out to Matt and let him tweet at us what he thinks. How much social interaction or support system is necessary to, I don't know, get by, I suppose, whether it's in a new city or a place you've never left. Man is a social creature. Is that right? Am I getting that right? Am I like lumping?
No, I think that's
have I heard
an accurate scientific statement.
Yeah. We travel in packs like wolves in the wild, right? That's
exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. We build crude tools and scratch our backs with them. We are never itchy.
So what? I mean, how do you feel about that? And has that changed like over time? Has there ever been a point in your life where you're just like fine being alone, or like you even just want to be alone?
I've had opportunities to do it.
Do you like it?
I don't know. I don't think so. So growing up, my mom, I don't want to say she wasn't a busybody or like a gossip, but she just kind of cared a lot about a lot of things and people. And so she just kind of kept tabs on all her sisters, all her nieces and nephews, people in the neighborhood, people in the school district. You know what I mean? Like, she just kind of genuinely cared. And so she'd ask and talk. And, my grandma Holmes, who we did an episode about, and my dad would always be the people when on vacation, they would just find strangers and bug them, I guess, or just right. Like what was supposed to be like, oh, sorry, excuse me, would turn into 10 minutes later where both wives are like, oh my God, we gotta go.
Yeah.
But they just be like, oh yeah, I do love the Doors. They're my favorite, to be quite honest. Jim Morrison, I don't know how to say what you want to say, but LA Woman, it's a hell of an album, everyone was counting them out. But yeah, I don't know. So I think, I grew up where, most of the people in the neighborhood felt comfortable coming over, or were not in each other's business, but I don't know. You've been in and around Lawrence Park. It's a pretty tight knit community. So, I guess I'm more comfortable in like always having, and I kind of like being thrown in different situations too, or like catching up with friends from different eras or versions of myself to, have a different discussion on the same topic, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a lot of people I don't know. I think based on how my mom carries herself, but it's not from a place of being a busybody. It's a place of caring. You want to know what's going on with the people you care about. And I don't know. It's nice to hear people talk, it's nice to talk. I guess. Jesse yells at me sometimes because I get too friendly with Uber drivers, but they don't need to know half the you just said. It's like, you're right, but what else are we going to do for those 7 minutes? Anyway, she was like, you just not talk? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so yeah, I like it. I have a few group texts and Facebook message threads and people from old sports teams and classes and neighborhood friend groups and stuff. I like visiting with old friends. It's, I was at a wedding 2 weeks ago with friends that it was a group of 5 people that probably wouldn't have found themselves in the same room unless a lot of us wanted to go back for like a college newspaper reunion,
Right.
And it was still just nice, man. Like those are people who I were with during an important time of my life, and I'm curious to see how they're doing, and I wish them all the best. And I don't know. I would say I'm on the other end of the spectrum from you, to say the very least, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but sometimes there's always those memes that like, memes, because there's that one quote that they misquote Eminem or something, and it's actually some like old Chinese army head lieutenant, where it's like, if you never stand for nothing, then you don't act good. That means you have some enemies or some shit like that. So like quotes just get absolutely butchered.
Yeah.
But there's something about like, whatever, having a few close friends is better than having many half friends. But I don't know if I believe that. I like having a lot of people that, I don't know, like if you visited a city in America, having somebody to say hey to, and I don't know. I like knowing a lot of people, seeing what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me personally, and you've probably know this, with the exception of you guys, just because you and Zach have been my friends forever, or 15 years or something. And this is good. I mean, this is just gonna sound f***ed up, no matter how you try to dissect it. I over the past couple years, I've had to like learn how to just be super selfish and just want all my time to myself to accomplish the things that I want to.
Yeah. And
like I said, any time that I'm not doing that, I am not happy with like myself or what I'm doing. So I actually, I have a couple like group messages of, two of the guys from work and I talk about different stuff. Some friends from DC, actually, from when I was managing the coffee shop. It was like a bunch of the employees there. We talk sometimes. And just people that I interact with on Facebook, like I almost prefer it that way because it takes less of a time and a commitment, and I can be editing the website while I'm having a conversation with someone. And obviously it's not the same. I know there's no argument that the two are even similar.
I guess my take on it myself is I rarely would have anything better to be doing, it seems. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of a day where I've been like, man, I really, like, this is what I need to do today because, but like on a random summer day in 8th grade, maybe like Alex Burtis and Matt Zewe would have been like, hey, we're going to the Blues Fest. And like, I haven't heard from anybody else. Like, yeah, man, like, let's go.
Right.
I love you guys, not like that eager, but just like, yeah, it sounds like something I would have just done nothing. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could have shot in hoops or gotten better at guitar or taken a while. I don't know. I rarely feel like I have anything better to do other than, you know what I mean? See what everyone else is up to, I guess. Not that it's a need. I mean, in New Mexico and even in Cleveland this past year, I've had a lot of time to, read and relax. And, one time I took piano lessons and that was okay, I guess. It was whatever. I don't know, like develop a skill or whatever. I don't know. Like, what does anybody do with their time? It's all just a giant, we don't need survival skills anymore. So you just waste time. You know what I mean? Like you can get all your food at the supermarket and all that. But I don't know. How does anyone spend their time, man? These are all people that now I'm sorry if am getting unnecessarily defensive because I question myself on it a good bit, but yeah, I don't know.
Like, I think I'd rather have like a few close friends to spend like personal face-to-face time with. And then I value having like a lot of different people that I can just have.
But like if Sam Cray lived in Denver, would you get with him every once in a while to play music?
Yeah, probably every once in a while. But what I mean is like close friends to spend a little bit of time with in person, and then like a lot of people to spend a few minutes a day with, just like random
like,
interactions.
How often are you ever seeing any of those people? Even
never,
the people,
and that's fine,
right? So I'm saying like there's a lot of weekends to fill, and I don't know.
See, and where my head is that I hate my job so much that if I'm not working on something for the network, it just means that's one more day I have to be doing a job that I hate. But I think if I spend a couple hours a day on it, that means I'm getting closer to the goal, which means it's a day that I might be working for myself rather than for a job I don't like. And that brings me way more.
Here's my question.
Even if it's theoretical, even if it never happens, that brings me joy. And it's not like I'm doing it out of a fear of it not happening. I'm doing it out of like, thinking what could happen. That's what makes me happy. And it's just me being selfish, and I love it.
Sorry for my phone going off during my part of the recording, by the way. Sorry. I'll take it off. I'll throw it away.
That's right. My dog's been barking the whole time, so whatever.
Okay. Welcome to Elemental, everybody. Soon to be called Ronald Carnage, the Chronicles of Carnia. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like when let's say it plays out like that, like your network kicks off, you get advertising dollars, you get to pay a small staff, you're the CEO of Elemental FM. Like, will there still be joy to be sought? I mean, like, I don't know. But I guess I'm being unfair to you because right now anything other than roofing would be an improvement by the sounds of it.
I think so.
Like, is it working for other people that much of a something you just don't enjoy to that intense of a degree?
See, I don't even want to be the CEO of the company. I just want to be like strictly like the creative guy, you know? Which I guess you could make that the job of this. I don't know. But yeah, I think if I was doing exactly what I'm doing now, but I was creating it for someone else's network, I would hate it. Even if I was getting paid for it, I think I would hate it. I think that is like the curse of like being an entrepreneur that is doing something for someone else. You're going to hate it.
So if somebody bought your company and kept you on as not CFO, that's financial, head creative director or whatever, / managing editor of the site or some shit like that. What would you do on your weekends? Like if Zach and I lived in Denver with you and this was your job, how often would you want to see him and I?
See, and I told you guys, you're the exception. I'm gonna want to see you guys probably a bunch.
What about Seth? Seth Taylor. For those who are listening, Seth Taylor and Sam Cray are just good old friends from high school that we don't see.
And Seth was like one of my best friends. We lived right on the corner.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Aaron Lonke or Seth like lived in Denver, how often would you like I guess like would your weekends change at all? Would you feel any less or more anxiety to be accomplishing certain goals in your personal life? I
don't think it's anxiety. I think it's passion, but I think I would feel less. And even if the network was,
would you feel like there'd be less pressure on your weekends? You had accomplished so many professional goals.
I don't think that it is pressure though. Like maybe I'm wording it wrong. Like I think I have used the word anxiety. I genuinely love just sitting on the couch, you know, maybe just mindlessly watching Parks and Rec as I'm thinking about ways to get people to the website for something other than just the podcasts. Like that makes me so happy. Like we're starting by the time this episode goes out, we'll already have announced that at Astra is doing a t-shirt design contest. And I mean,
I want to hear more about that.
I spent hours just mocking up.
Just trying to be a company man here.
Thanks, dude. I spent hours mocking up some of my own designs. I made a page for the website. We were trying to figure out the incentives, and I spent like an hour talking Megan's ear off about like how do we get people who don't care about us as a network and as hosts and as people who don't know us, like how do we get them to like design a shirt? Because right now I'm just seeing like our friends putting up some like goofy designs, you know? And if there's no money as an incentive, how do we get people to want to do it? And like that kind of like those challenges, like really, I like thinking about it and I like trying to find a solution for that. And it's almost like a game where the reward is like maybe someday you'll have financial stability with something you've created yourself, you know? It's a pretty big incentive, I guess, to keep doing it. But I feel like even if the network was successful on my own account, I would still be trying so hard to always just do better. But I think if it was already in someone else's possession and I was just working for it, I wouldn't care. Like I would try to get more time for myself to probably start something different.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's just maybe at some point when it gets to be like there's no work-life balance, I'll need to address how much time I'm putting into all this stuff, especially since it's not paying anything right now. But like it's what I want to be doing, like way more than anything, like way more than even just like talking to someone on the phone or anything. Like, you know, I did an interview with Kyle Parker, who is Kylie, Captain Dangerous's husband. He really, really wanted to talk about the new Metroid Prime game. We're not allowed to publish it till the 12th because there's an embargo from Nintendo on when we're allowed to talk about stuff. But that turned into like an hour conversation about like how she could be maybe like doing a little more to support herself financially. And then I was like, well, what can I do to help? You know, I wouldn't even benefit from this financially. I just want to help a friend out And I just started trying to think of ideas to like how to bring her more traffic, maybe some more money, this and that. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm just like, that's just where my head's at. That's where I want to be. But I do want to join these Dungeons and Dragons things to have some kind of social interaction, but also where there's like structure and an objective, which is like, within the game, I guess. But just, I don't know. Am I answering anything or am I just rambling?
No, I don't know. I like it, whatever it is.
Okay.
I mean, it's your show, and you can talk about whatever the hell you want.
It's our show. Pat.
Sounds like, there's nothing wrong with enjoying time to yourself. I mean, also, who gives a shit? So, I just hope, people don't take advantage of you and stuff like that, your kind nature. Or maybe there is a job out there where you can get hired to be a creative thinker boy. That's a horrible phrase for it.
Creative thinker boy.
I hope you
Don
can
Carnage, creative thinker boy.
Yeah. Yes. The name's Carnage. Don Carnage. They call me Thinker Boy.
Oh God, I love it. I want to find an illustrator who can draw Don Carnage. As the creative thinker boy.
I have a feeling a listener out there is going to start submitting fan fiction of Don Carnage, Thinker Boy, and we can just post it to the blog.
Yeah. In terms of class reunion,
so Matt, keep them coming.
Right.
All right, we're gonna need several volumes or several chronicles of Don Carnage, the Thinker Boy. Lore, as it were. Anyway,
so high school reunion, 10 years, 2019. Are you going?
I'd like to go. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. To quote a professor in college who tried to teach us a thing that day, whatever. Half a life is showing up was his point, which is a good point, I think.
Yep.
I mean, you can't just be fearful of like. Everyone there is going to feel the same way you do, apprehension-wise, but I want to see Dan Majeski and like be like, hey, man, and be like, yeah, I don't know, like, remember the thing? There's that Onion article that kind of mocks it where it's like friend group gets together to mention names of people they used to know. Like, oh, do you remember
right.
Kathy Jackson? It's like, oh, Kathy Jackson. Like, I thought that was so funny because that's what it ends up being, but I mean, are we allowed to enjoy nostalgia, or is nostalgia just dangerous, Tom?
Right.
Anyway, I would go. I think I'd go.
I think I would too.
Want to see. Yeah, why the hell not? Man? We had fun,
and it almost gives me. I don't want to think about it like this because I don't really care. Like, I kind of care a little bit about what people think, but not like my life isn't ruled by it. Like maybe my mom's was, But I have been using...
sounds like an episode that we have to do later.
But I have been using that as like a date to be like, okay, I want to be supported financially by the podcast stuff by this date so I can go in and not be like, yeah, well, I'm doing this job I hate, but on the side, I'm trying to build this thing. Like, I don't want to be in that same place in 2 years.
Is it only 2 years away?
I think it's a little less than 2, yeah.
Jeez.
Right?
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Like I graduated college a high school career ago. I just thought about that today. Like, wow. The time I've been out of college was the entire length of high school, which seemed like forever,
Yeah.
I thought that was just a really weird thought to have.
Yeah. It's weird. 12 years just kind of happened. When did we start high school?
2004.
Yeah.
Right? Late 2004, yeah.
Well, that's some stuff, ain't it? But yeah, I'd go. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Nice folk in your PA.
What else are we covering today?
I think that is about it. I'm curious to hear your dress session. And you want to get to highlight?
Well, we were going to introduce a new segment to the show.
Oh, that's right.
Called Play Jingle.
Now you
And again, this was me thinking, if podcasts are spread by word of mouth, people have no reason to like talk about the show to a friend, right? Like there's some aspect of like voyeurism in it where you're like just listening to these dudes have like a sometimes very personal conversation, but there's nothing that you really take away. Like you don't really gain anything other than maybe some entertainment. So I thought maybe a way that we can get.
You are drastically altering in a dangerous way the mission statement of this program.
Oh, I know.
But I'm listening.
Okay. So this is just I'm doing it.
You're flirting with trying, Tom. And I don't know how I feel about it.
So this is an experiment where I want to learn something new every week. I want to force myself to do a little bit of research to learn something new, but then also have you know, we're going to take turns every week giving each other a random fact. But also, I'm thinking, and this is where my head's at, maybe I shouldn't be so candid with this, but I'm thinking people like to share these little fun facts. So maybe they'll be like, hey, guess what I just found out? It was on this podcast called Reminiscent, right? Because there's no other reason for anyone to talk about this show. It's just two guys having conversations, whatever. There's nothing to like share with a friend, I guess. So this might be it. And I have a very interesting one this week that I was rushing to find right before we hit record, and I got it for you, okay?
Which that type of behavior is within our mission statement. So we're going to have to do some serious rewriting of the bylaws.
Okay.
If there's more planning than...
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
So I don't know where this statistic comes from, but it says one sperm has 37.5 megabytes of DNA information in it. That means a normal ejaculation represents a data transfer of 1,587 gigs in about 3 seconds. So that's, a huge... God.
A huge what, Tom?
This is the best pun of all time, and I walked right into it. That's a huge load of information. I didn't plan that, I promise.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So it would cost about $60 to buy a 1.5 terabyte hard drive to store all that information.
How much?
About $60 if you're looking at spinning disk hard drive of a 1.5 terabyte.
Jesus.
So I did a speed check on my Wi-Fi right before we started recording. 109.32 megs per second. It would take my Wi-Fi 4 hours, if I did the math right, it would take my Wi-Fi 4 hours to download all of that information in a 3-second ejaculate. Medical terms are weird. Okay, so 4 hours on Wi-Fi. And then I thought, how long would it take New Horizons to transfer all that information back from beyond Pluto? Their data transfer, since it's so far away, is 1 kilobit per second, and it would take just over 50 years and 9 months to download an ejaculate of information.
That's a lot of foreplay, Tom. Or whatever. I'm just trying to play along, trying to be a team player here.
So how do you think about that? Or how do you feel about that?
I feel like the parameters are for fun, so it's not like anything I have to grasp to like get by. So it's like, it's not like a whoa. It's more of a you don't say. It would take 50 years for a Pluto robot to send my sperm back to me. That's all right. Okay, good. All right. Yes, I'm a different person now than I was a minute ago. Okay. There's definitely some growth. I feel smarter. I think. I don't know how I feel, Tom. That's a fucking fact, man. That is just something that's technically true. I don't know how you want me to react. It's doesn't teach me anything about this world, really.
I think
I'm actually quite mixed up in the head based off of the information you just gave me. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm having a fucking identity crisis here.
Well, let's just blow right past it into
Oh my fucking God. How many puns did you have planned out for this bit?
None, dude. I promise.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't even plan this bit.
You sure are jerking me around, pal. That one was the worst one. Don't laugh at that, you son of a... All right, moving on.
Highlight of the week.
Okay, here's mine.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Did you know male seahorses get pregnant?
Well, you go next week.
Nope, that was it.
Okay. and I think I did when I was looking for fun facts for this.
Oh, okay. Did you know that a group of lions is called a pride?
I did.
Okay. Well, did you know that Pennsylvania stands for Penn's Woodlands, named after William Penn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Want to do highlight of the week?
No, I'm going to find one. Yeah, you're right. Let's do highlight of the week.
All right.
We got a lot of segments. You've changed, man.
I thought it would be
This isn't what
fun.
I signed up for, man.
I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Tweet at us. Let us know if you like it at _reminiscent
No,
FM.
all that. Give us ideas for Ron Carnage episodes. That's it.
Okay.
We're either going in one of two directions: a structured radio program or a fictional series about Ron Carnage and his exploits. Vote on Twitter now, Matt.
All right. Highlight
That's
of the
it.
week.
I'm going rogue, Tom. I'm going rogue. It's this or that.
Okay. Highlight of the week.
This is supposed to be like the easiest part about your like venture, and I just like torture you for an hour. And, I'm sorry for that.
Highlight of the week.
Yes. I had time to relax, and it was my first weekend with Jesse in our new city, so we were able to enjoy it. I didn't have to drive out of town or anything, so very simple, very nice, very good.
Good, man. I still want to hear more about that. You're saying there's nothing to say, but I think that's...
Oh, I mean, well, now you're never going to get it out of me because it's your own fault. You came up with the name Ronald Carnage, and now my brain is never coming back to Earth. Little Ronnie Carnage, the Thinker Boy. The fucking Thinker Boy. Damn it, that's good.
I got to make business
burdened.
cards.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We need to do some mock-ups right away.
Yeah. Okay, so is that what you got?
Yeah, it was a pleasant weekend. Yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
I guess it's my highlight because there was nothing of note, and it was just nice. It was nice to relax and
Okay. Yeah, sounds
wake up
awesome.
without setting an alarm and all that.
So I had a 4-day weekend, which was dope. Thank you.
We should do more sound effects if we're going the traditional radio show route. So I figured I'd
Well, we're
test
going
out a
Ron
few.
Carnage, so it's kind of beautiful.
That's a long weekend, Tommy.
So yeah, 4 days. But I think the highlight was Saturday with like the wedding dresses. It just like it was really exciting. She looked so hot, and I kept mentioning how good her butt looked and everything. I hope it didn't make the girl that the worker, the employee, uncomfortable because I was just obsessing about how good her butt looked.
She did. You sent me the pictures. She looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the worker has heard and seen worse.
Did I didn't even send you the good one. Oh my God. I'm gonna send that right now. But anyways,
boy.
yeah. So the dresses were fun. And also we had talked, I think we're kind of on the same page with canceling our wedding plans and doing
At some point, you will have to
different.
give a date for people to like plan for.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I won't if you won't. Just a moderate suggestion.
It'll be fine. So yeah, just
as long as it's not in like January.
Right.
Like give me like 30 days.
No,
treat it like a ransom note. Give me 30 days or else.
It'll be good. So yeah, long weekend. It was the first like 2-day stretch we've had together in like probably 4 months, and it was amazing. So yeah, time with loved ones for both of us. It sounds like.
Yes, which is something that each of us treasure to a different degree. Here we are again at the crossroads, Ronnie. Can I call you Ronnie? You want to end this thing? Should we put it out of its misery?
Song of the week, and then we'll get out of here.
John.
All right. I listened to Taylor Swift. It's a pop song, and we got a whole album to dissect coming up. And whether we like it or not, we're probably going to do an episode about it. It was all right. It is what it is. I don't know how to. We already talked about it at length last week, so.
Yep.
But I did give it another listen, and it's catchier than I thought it was originally.
Yeah.
Lyric videos kind of ruin stuff for me. I got to stop watching lyric videos.
Oh, there's a music video, man.
No, but when it dropped, there was a lyric video.
Oh, true.
Same with Blink-182's single off of California. What was it?
Yeah.
There's like a lyric video.
Rabbit hole.
And for some reason, I hated both of those, but they're both fine songs. Like.
Yeah. Dude,
Yes.
I gotta be so honest. I didn't listen to yours. I totally forgot.
I do that honestly every week to you, so I don't care.
Okay, so I'll make up for it next week, maybe.
You can, you cannot. It really, honestly, I do that weekly to you. I like way more often. I f you on this segment than you do to me. So, I honestly, it's so muscle memoried in that I was like, I got to text Tom like a dog between its legs and ask him what. I'm like, no, it's what I've heard. Yeah.
So what do you have this week?
Roswell Kid.
Oh yeah,
ROZ. They have an album. If you look them up on Spotify, ROZWELL is how you spell Roswell. I forget what the name of the album is. Something art, but it's good.
What's the name of the song?
I guess the track 1, Wendy's Trash Can. I haven't really dug into the album enough to pick a favorite yet, but the first one,
okay.
It's just nice. Listen, it's nice. It's just nice. It's nice.
Okay.
I don't know if it's grungy necessarily or poppy, rocky.
I do have them on my phone, not this album, but someone on Facebook mentioned them and I downloaded it. I liked it, but I didn't even listen to the full album, so this will be a good reason.
I mean, I think when I say grungy, I misuse it. It's not from the genre. I mean, it's like a little dirty sound.
Right.
Right. Distort the voice a little bit. It's just like, is it garage rock or some shit? I don't know. Either way, it's all right.
Sure.
No more, no less.
All right. So this week I have an old one. I went to this thing called Emo Night over the weekend, which is basically a dance party where they play all the early 2000s like pop punk emo music, like Brand New, Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, Katie goes to those in Austin sometimes. She says she loves it.
It was a lot of fun. And they played Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional.
Oh yeah, from the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack or whatever.
I hadn't heard that song in so long, and I'm like obsessed with it right now.
Yep.
So I'm going to take it back to Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional.
His unplugged session, Swiss Army Romance, is dope, and Places You Have Come to Fear the Most. The acoustic versions of those two songs are two of my. I mean, they were on my iPod for a long time, and I don't know, man. I feel like there was an Abercrombie look and a sound to their band that just was a thing you could have been back then. And it was kind of lame to like them, but everyone had them on their iPod, so
right,
we were all jerking each other off. That's the worst. That's the wrong way to phrase it. We were all misleading each other, I think, on what was cool and what wasn't. I mean, It might not have been cool, but everyone was listening to it. Yeah, man. If let's just do. I'm gonna go Swiss Army Romance then.
Okay.
The unplugged version from
Cool.
Dashboard's MTV session.
So you're making 2 recommendations this week.
I don't give a about Roswell Kid. It's just fine.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing a throwback episode. I love Swiss Army Romance.
All right. Awesome.
Places you have come to fear the most.
Sure. And that's the unplugged session though, or
yeah, those versions. It'll pop up.
Okay. Awesome.
He looks kind of like Sam Swansinger with his little the type of sideburn he had with like a bunch of bracelets. It was just like the most 2003 thing possible.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just a dude that's like pretty symmetrical, kind of handsome with a decent voice, laying it out there. And the world accepted the way he was dressed at the time. So it was just like, all right, man. Like, I guess this is our version of teen person. So right. Sing, teen person, sing. You know, I mean, he's not exactly Kurt Cobain, but I mean, he was bringing the thunder. You know, he was trying his best. And I think many people accepted it for what it was.
Yeah, for sure. There, a lot of.
Sorry, man.
All right, so
I don't know. I had mixed feelings about liking it so much.
Yeah,
like it was feminine to like, but everybody listened to it.
Yeah, I feel that way about Mayday Parade. He was like the better, more true version of them. I feel like.
Okay, I don't even know if that's the same though, because there was like everybody went through their weird Forever the Sickest Kids Mayday Parade phase. That was like an 8-month time period. You're like, all right, this is technically catchy music, but like, we care. You know what I mean? Like we asked ourselves whether we could, but not whether or not we should, type thing. You know what I mean? That's a whole fucking different. I don't know if we can get all that. But you know what I mean? Like I think there might have been actually a nugget of good in what Dashboard was trying to pull. That's my steaming hot, sad take at the end of the episode. Like, was it possible they were all right? Like justify years of listening habits? Yeah, Mayday Parade, whatever, man. It's not like I didn't enjoy it. What was the name of that album with
Dusk and Summer?
No, the orange and maroon one. The one where he would have been wearing that striped hoodie that you own.
Hold on, I'm looking it up now. I mean the only album art that has him on it is Dusk and Summer, and he's like standing by the ocean.
Yeah, never mind. I'm way off. I just remember the lead singer of Less Than Jake came out during that time period and was like, I don't know, man, you get all these dudes to straighten their hair and whatever the and we've been trying to perfect our craft for like 25 years and they're as famous as we are in like 12 hours. So it's like, whatever. It's just like, them, us, who cares? It's just like, and I really like Less Than Jake. So I was like, does that mean I can't listen to him? Can I like you more than them and just occasionally, you know what I mean? Whatever, nothing, I don't know. Very conflicting fandom of, anyway, Forever the Sickest Kids, Hey Britney, whatever. It's an early 2000s jam, I think. It wouldn't be a jam in any other context, but if you're doing early 2000s Emo Night, it would probably be one of them, right? Would it be a top 50 of that decade?
I don't know. They were like 2006 anyways. Little late.
That's the best sentence you've ever said on this entire podcast was, well, they were more like 2006 anyway. I'm going to get that tattooed across my chest. That's easily this is the best segment we've done. I'm super happy.
Well, let's end it on that note.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good about it. F them, man. They were 2006 anyway. F them. Irrelevant art.
All right.
Anyway, I love you, man.
Love you too, dude.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. All right. So, Tom here in the apparently noisiest car in the history of the world. I'm here with my fiance Megan, and we are driving to do what?
We're gonna try on wedding dresses.
She's gonna try on wedding dresses.
No, that's the surprise. You're gonna try them on, and you're gonna try them on for me.
Okay. Are you allowed to try on wedding dresses without underwear?
Without a bra, but I think you're supposed to keep the bottoms on.
Okay, they might not let me try on wedding dresses then.
That means you don't have underwear on, right?
I don't know. I don't even own underwear, if we're being honest. Oh my god, I turned the air conditioning off so there's no noise and this car's so hot now. Are you planning on buying anything today?
Probably not. I kind of just wanted to try some stuff on, and listeners are probably going to be bored to death by this, but I have a favorite dress that I've seen online that I really, really want, and this store carries that brand, but I don't think they have this dress. So I'm going to try on dresses from the same brand to be like, does this feel good? Is it soft enough? Is it worth it?
How much is the dress that you want?
It's like $1,997.
Gasp! Do you think that buying a dress for that much is worth it just to wear for one day? Or would you rather spend $300 and get a dress that you weren't in love with, but then we had $1,700 to spend on something else?
It depends on what the alternative cheaper dress is, and also what we would spend the additional $1,700 on.
Organic gummy worms.
No.
Organic gummy bears.
No, obviously, worms would win out over bears.
Is it that obvious, though?
To me, it is.
Okay, but first, before we go to the dress store, we're picking up some friends. Are we picking up both Hannah and Andrew?
Andrew's gonna meet us there, and hopefully he'll fit in the room. Not because he's a large person, even though he is very tall. But the only room I could secure is for 1 to 2 guests, and I already have 2 guests, so hopefully we can work something out and they're not mad.
Okay. So we'll pick up a little bit more in the dressing room, or in the waiting room as you get dressed. It's really hot, and I got to turn the air conditioning back on, so we'll meet up later.
Gummy worms for life!
Gummy bears.
Oh God, now I'm nervous.
Oh, that looks intense.
It's not. So we're here in the wedding dress store, whatever the you call it, with friends Andrew and Hannah.
Shalom. Hello. Shalom.
Hannah, if you guys read, is our music writer for the website. You want to say hello?
Hi.
Anything you want the people to know?
I love all these wedding dresses. I'm curious where the black ones are, though, for some of us that are very non-traditional and want a satanic wedding.
Right. And what about you, Andrew?
I'm impressed with the large array of eclectic dresses here. I feel like they might have something that's actually as special as Megan.
Oh,
hey. So I'm excited to see how they look on her curvy, bodacious bod.
She's got a very curvy body,
She
yeah.
does.
So she came out already. We're sitting here on a couch. She's trying on the dresses. She came out in one, and what was the general consensus of that?
I f***ing loved it, but no one else did.
I think she was right. It had some pattern that was like pretty straight lines down it, and like you said, she's got a pretty curvy, bodacious body. It's got to be accentuated.
I liked how it showed her back, which is hot, but the lines were, I'd have to agree, they were a little too linear. They kind of swallowed up her curves for me. I don't know.
Okay.
It was a little too boy mode for me.
All right. So she's in the dressing room. Did you see what she's going to try on next? Or?
No, I didn't.
Either.
I'm
Okay.
excited.
Very exciting.
Fresh plate.
So you'll hear a very natural reaction, dear listener. Oh, she's coming out. Up. Ooh, yeah.
More skin. Yes.
Love it.
So you guys have to be a little imaginative. I already
Okay.
told Megan here, but you have to be a little imaginative because they're all going to be super big on her. So if something looks a little funny or it's not tight or fitting just how it should,
Okay.
it'll all.
Do you want to describe the dress?
So the dress we're looking at now is very lacy. A very, it's like spaghetti straps, sweetheart around the top. It's very good, very flattering to her waist. And then it's a very minimal flare at the bottom. And I'm really liking the way the lace integrates with the flare at the bottom.
What is that? What do you call it? Sheer?
Is that sheer? I don't know.
Ooh.
There'll be a lot of dancing moves incorporating that. I like the movement of this one. I really do. Like can you walk around a little without tripping?
Although, I'm not gonna lie, I don't love the spaghetti straps. I feel like it could I don't know. The dress. Yeah, that's true. Can I also just let the listeners know that I don't actually want a satanic wedding?
Can you guys take a picture of this one? Yeah, something has to be a picture.
Yeah. Okay. Oh god. So, do you think that we found the dress?
Sorry, I'm busy drinking melted tea water. I don't know. There were definitely some surprises. There were some dresses I tried on that I did not think I would like. I would think they were too
Piratey?
too piratey sometimes, too frou-frou, too fancy for me. And there was one that surprised me, but they're going to bring the one that I really want to try back to the store because it flew to Seattle for some reason. And I'm going to try that one on. And if I like it as much as I think I like it from pictures, I have a feeling that'll be the one. But if not, who knows?
Well, the brand of the one that you really liked, they had some other ones of that same designer, I guess you call it. And those were my favorite of the evening. So I think that if they do get the one in that you found online, that would definitely be the one as well. So we're going to try that again in like a month.
Yeah, that's the plan. Keep you updated, faithful listeners. I'm sure you really care about this.
They better care.
Quest for the dress.
New podcast. Quest for the dress. Okay. I'm going into my apartment now. Our apartment. Those are the keys. Going into the reminiscent lair. You all are invited for a party. Okay, bye.
Puppy.
Oh, puppy.
Excuse me.